Hi everyone, we're back and we are talking about Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. And I am skipping a few. So now we're on chapter 30. And the reason I'm doing that, as I've mentioned before, is that I believe that you should be reading the book. You should be supporting the book. And I think that this is a very spiritually important book to read and to experience. That said, the journey of Yogananda with his guru, I think you should experience that for yourself. Now, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I think that the experience that I had reading those chapters was very powerful, and my lessons, I think, were very personal, and I wanted to keep those for myself. And maybe I do something on them later, but for right now, I believe that you should experience that for yourself and see his evolution through that time. So chapter 30 is where they're talking about the law of miracles. That's chapter 30. And in this chapter, what surprised me and what really had me like go, whoa, that's like crazy that this is happening. Let me read you the part that I'm talking about, okay? It says, in joining space as a dimensional relativity, time is now stripped to its rightful nature, a simple essence of ambiguity. With a few equational strokes of his pen, Einstein banished from the universe every fixed reality except that of light. In a later development, his unified field theory, the great physicist sought to embody in one mathematical formula the laws of gravitation and of electromagnetism, reducing the cosmical structure to variations on a single law. Einstein had reached across the ages to the rishis who proclaimed a sole fabric of creation, a protean Maya. This chapter really kind of woke me up to the fact that the technology of life and how we view it isn't new. We are just popularizing it now. And physicists have always been talking about how we are just light, we are just waveforms, we are just atoms floating in space. And now it's just become really more popular, and where you know, the Joe Dispenzas or the Regan Hilliers, where they're talking about, you know, we are just like 99.999% like empty space. We are just like these waveform functions. That this has been, this book was written in what, 1940, no, he died in the 1940s. No, this was written in 1946, right? Like, but he's known this for ages. So basically almost 100 years or 80 years, and we're still talking about it. Like, we're still in disbelief that this is happening. We still live in this reality of the world where we believe that this thing is really here. We believe that I am actually here. We believe that this camera is actually there and it's capturing something other than light vibrating at a different frequency than this, than that, than anything, than water, than gas. Something that like something that was really beautiful is somebody had asked, and I don't know where I got this story, so I'm probably gonna butcher it, okay? I'm not like really good at telling these stories, but I had heard that somebody was asking, you know, I lost it. And it was somebody asking, you know, how can the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost be the same thing? And the person who answered said, okay, well, ice, water, and vapor are the same thing. They're just vibrating at different frequencies, right? You turn up the heat on ice and you get water. You turn up the heat on water and you get vapor. But it's the same molecular structure. It's the same thing. Nothing has changed about the water in particular, but it's the same thing. So I probably have mentioned on here somebody named Neuro Knowledge. If you are watching this, check his page out. He's got a whole bunch of wonderful information about this. But he also makes the statement that, you know, anger, love, jealousy, love, kindness, they are all vibration, but they are just different frequencies. So it's the same thing. Emotion is the same thing. It is just energy in motion. But how fast is that energy moving in order for you to feel? So there was another great chart about how vibrational frequency is, and like, you know, it goes from like anger, jealousy, hatred, shame, guilt, fear, all the way up, and it goes into kindness. It goes all the way up to love, to apathy, right? Or not apathy, enlightenment. Man, I'm really tongue-tied today. What is happening? So on this scale, you have the different vibrational frequencies. Now, these are numbers that are quantified. I don't know how, I don't know why, where, when, and how he did it, but he had quantified, you know, that at the worst case scenario, shame and guilt are like the lowest vibration. And often manifesting doesn't really happen at that level. But, you know, when you get to the higher ones like love and enlightenment, that your vibration is like through the roof. It is so high. It is like incredibly powerful when you are manifesting from those places. So you always want to operate from love or above with the foundational frequency of your body. Now, reading this book and seeing, you know, Yogananda not just talk about Indian culture, but also physics, also Christianity, and like really drawing from the fact that, you know, we are all one, and that, you know, it's just different ways to explain the love of God. And, you know, I really resonate with that because I struggle with organized religion at times. It's like, okay, God is the authority, but then why do I have to pray to this person? Why is it that I'm praying to that person? Why am I praying to this saint? Why, like, it doesn't make sense to me. If God is the ultimate authority, why is there a middleman between my desire and God? And so understanding, like, and you guys, you know, I was a scientist, a rocket scientist for 10 years. And so my puny little human brain really works well with, okay, scientific knowledge. So the physics part of it, the part where, you know, we are all waveforms and particles, like, okay, yes, I can get all of that. But the 99.999% where there is nothing, what's in that? What is in that primordial space between all my atoms and all that vibration that's happening that comprises me? What is happening in there? And I think for me, it is the divine. It is the glue that keeps us together, the glue that keeps the world together and moving, and all of this stuff is the divine. It's God, it's source, creator, however you want to call it. And this chapter in particular really just knocked it into place for me that, one, it's not, you know, these concepts aren't new. This technology is not new. People have been talking about it for decades, you know, almost a century. Probably longer than that. You know, if you read older texts, they probably have the description of it, but just not the scientific words for it. So they're talking about it. And so this really hit that, like, this person who was like a real person, like people have actually met this person, people have sat with this person and conversed with this person and had physical contact, but they've been saying it for decades that we are not, you know, like what we think we are. And to me that, like, in a spiritual context, not just a physics context, not a scientist context, not a hard science context, it's very much, it's like, hey, we are light. We are light. And because we are light, we have the capacity for more. We have the capacity to be more, do more, see more, say more, live more, and not just lock ourselves into patterns that we believe we're supposed to fit into. So that's what I got for you guys today. And I hope you guys do support the book. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. I'm going to put a link to my book, my podcast, in the description also. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys read this book? Let me know, okay? Love you guys.